Hello and welcome to our LEGO Star Wars Hoth MOC. Last week we worked on the front of Echo Base Mountain, and this week it is time for the dreaded G word, GREEBLE. So let's get building. Alright guys, so we are here once again in our Hoth MOC, and this is my nice little organization brick area here, and there's one set of bricks in particular. They're not even really bricks. They are hoses. And we got lots of black and gray hoses. And what we are missing on the MOC, and what we're going to be working on today, is hoses all around the trenches. So if you look at the scene in Empire Strikes Back, there are literally hoses everywhere, connecting everything. There's in and out, wandering all over the place. So we're going to be putting down some hoses along with some more groundwork along the back side of the trench and a little bit along the top side of the trench. And then, as you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeders, and we want 3 more. But today we're putting another speeder on the board. Where are we going to put it? Who knows? And like always, we still have more footprints to put down. This guy has footprints. This guy has a lot of footprints. This guy has no footprints. But now the downed walker, it's his turn to see where he was walking before the rebels got all tangled up in his business. And then don't forget to stick around to the very end, because we are going to be putting some minifigures on the board. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get to it. All right, so first of all, I want to put more hosiery down, more black hosiery, more GREEBLE, if you will. GREEBLE. So I'm going to start from the back of the MOC, kind of going in front of the doorway and running hoses along the back side of the trench. And then I also want to do on the top of the trench, kind of running this way. And then finally, more hosiery here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just lay some of the hoses down. I kind of want them, and I wanted to have a little bit of overlapping hosiery. So we'll just lay a few pieces down here. One thing I think I am going to do is make this little black box here connect to the radar dish guns using these smaller tube structures, just like we did with the turret guns. Then as we move down here, I want to have this hose extend all the way down kind of the front of the trench. And I want more down along here and maybe a little closer in. And you're probably wondering, these just look like black spaghetti noodles right now, how we're going to connect these onto the base. And I'm going to show you that right now. We use this piece right here. And the secret is you need something, and I don't normally like Technic pieces, but these fit all the way through. And then you can attach the hose on both sides. Then on the extensions, when you want to extend the hose, use a Technic piece, which is just a connector piece. It's in black, so you don't really notice once it's connected. Shove in the other side of the hose, push them together. Looks like one continuous hose. So normally we want these hoses running from something to something. So this particular line of hoses here, I'm going to have them running to just behind this power unit here. And for end pieces that don't go anywhere, I usually want to have like a little cylinder, something to show like this is meant to connect into something. So I'm going to do that on this end. I'm just going to have it connect to a smaller hose piece that has 2 ends on it, and have it mount to one of these like underground fuel depots with a hollow stud on top. So it looks like a in-ground fuel depot. Little piece right in there, and voila, it's actually going somewhere now. So we need the other side to do the same with just a nozzle on the end. So how we make the filler nozzles is we just use a cylinder piece. And then it looks like a perfect little fuel nozzle. Stick it on the end of the pipe, and there you go. Perfect little fuel nozzle end. All right, now I wanted to run, because we want them overlapping, so I'm going to run a second tube along here, running from a similar spot, and it's going to be running in parallel to this one, but a little snaking in behind it. All right, there we go. Now I want to move on top of the Echo Base trench, and these are going to be kind of slightly coming out and running alongside here. Same deal, a nozzle, but I want this one also basically connecting to something down here. All right, so I'm going to put this little piece of GREEBLE right there. GREEBLE. All right, now we'll curve this around this way. All right, there we go. All right, now I am going to put a gray one just underneath this black one here. All right, so if you move on down the trench, you can see what I'm going for here with all the cables, hoses, and nozzles and such. And like in the scene, pretty much all of the hoses lead to one of the turrets or the boxes. So we're going to carry that on down. All right, let's do the top part of the trench first. And connect it to a piece of GREEBLE. And just like down at the other end, we are going to have a second line that's going to cross under that line. All right, so here is the tubing in the front of the trench. Now we are going to move behind the trench, where we're going to connect some hoses and cords and tubulars between the two radar guns running along the back side of the trench. All right, one thing I noticed as I moved down the back of the trench here is this radar gun doesn't have a little box, little power box. So we're gonna have to make this piece of GREEBLE to power this radar gun. Oh, I said GREEBLE. GREEBLE. Get out of here. All right, so let's quickly assemble that power box, starting with a black 2x4 tile piece. The top sides are these 1x2 slightly decoed pieces. Then on the bottom, on the one side, is where the cord goes in. A 2x2 black piece in the middle, and either a 1x2 or two 1x1s on the sides. And then the grills connect on the studs on both sides. Well, there is our Hoth GREEBLE power box. Them right there. Now we're going to weave some cords along behind here, going from gun to gun. Right, there we go. That one is locked in place. Now we need one more, a little shorter one to kind of go behind it. Okay, and here are the cords and hoses on the left side of the base. So let's back up here and take a look at the entire trench with all its hosey goodness. Pretty cool. All right, the next thing we are going to do is more footprints. So let's cut over to hyperlapse mode and make some footprints for the downed walker. Okay, so there is the footprints on the down walker, And assistant helped me starting to decorate up towards where the walker fell, where he smashed over.
Yes, of course. So we've done some decorating. It's a little disjointed in this whole area here, so I think I want to just continue to add in some more little snow bits in and around just to make it look a little better. But it's looking pretty good over here by the downed walker. And all
and there's a lot of tromping.
Yeah, well, between this walker, and this walker, and we still have to add in footprints here. Don't mind, we still need a couple more footprints here, So really you're gonna start to see what the footprints are really gonna look like. This whole area over here is gonna be roughed up even more than it already is to look like this. So it really looks like literally the trail of path of destruction these guys are leaving. It's gonna look really cool. And really ripped up and torn up. And that's also why I want to connect this area in better. And I also want to kind of add some footprints in for this guy as well.
A little ATSD?
Yeah, so I mean, once we get these footprints in though, it's really going to look good.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. This guy still needs a couple.
I think we also may want to add a footprint in between each of the foots.
Oh, yes.
So we have that continued inversion.
Right between the fetuses?
Yeah, and probably one more right here, I'm thinking too. One more there,
yeah, right,
one more there.
Right, like at the edge.
Yes, so definitely some more footprint work that needs to be done, but this is some massive progress.
Yes, it looks awesome. So now, assistant, we have to put a speeder down. All right, so assistant, there's really 3 places we can put the speeder. There was one I wanted kind of flying over the back. Just thinking another one kind of here in the middle. And then the third location is right here, flying out the door.
That's my favorite. Put it back there, let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think it's decided. I want one flying out the door. I think with the context of that mountain there, and just having one a little bit more out the door, probably farther out the door. Yeah, like right there.
Right there.
Looks the best. Especially with our trench lineup going on here, with all the new added GREEBLE detail.
GREEBLE.
Which is looking really, really good. So I mean, look at that speeder. It just looks cool.
That does look cool.
And I mean, come on. Now with our stomped up footprints in the back over here, it's just really, really coming together, guys. All right, so let's get this speeder mounted in place. And just like that, the speeder is mounted, and take a look at him. He is just flying to attack, just waiting to blow off the brains of one of our fellas here. So I mean, you know, he definitely a good addition. I do like the sideways look of him flying out the doors here. Although he may need to go back just a bit. I'm thinking just 2 studs here, just because I don't want him to, you know, descale the size of the mountain. Actually, you know what? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. I think he might be good there, might not. Well, we might have to see how this whole area turns out. But I think for right now, he's going to stay there, looking really snazzy. What do you think, Leaky?
I love it. And assistant, I think we should like just quickly fly around, see how many speeders we have now. Like show all the speeders.
Well, of course we have the latest addition here looking really good. And then the classic 2 flying speeders, which have been shown in many episodes here, just chilling there. And now there's 3 of them. Next up, we have the smushed DAC speeder back here where we put all of our GREEBLE detail and hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears this episode into this kind of smashed out Hoth landscape where the walkers are pushing through to destroy Echo Base. And then additionally, inside Echo Base, we have 3 snow speeders chilling here, waiting to be dispatched out to the battle. And then we have this speeder here going in for the death blow on the walker that has been downed.
Nice shot, Jansen.
And then lastly, we have the fake speeder, the one that's not even real. He's kind of small, so we tucked him in behind the Millennium Falcon here with inside Echo Base. So he's kind of hard to see, but he is back there.
So is that 9 speeders?
In fact, it is 9 speeders. So we have tons of them, and I think we want 11 in total, which was a little bit more than the 7 I think we originally set out to have. But you know, I don't think that was in the original plans either. So it just keeps expanding. And speaking of expanding, I think it's time to expand the staff on Echo Base. It's minifigure time. And today we are adding in 3 guys. first off, a pilot to join the merry crew over here getting grilled by Princess Leia. And it is another Luke, but you know, you're just gonna have to use your imagination because LEGO really didn't release that many pilots, and we at least have to have them kind of looking there. So we're gonna add in a ton more pilots over here to get this scene built out and looking good. Next up, we have two irregular looking Rebel troopers here, and of course these guys are going to go working around our power units here, just because in the movie there was actually a ton of them and they're kind of all chatting and standing around trying to get these things working, you know, working collaboratively if you take a look at the scene. So that's what we're going to want to do, just to kind of expand the amount of people running around here. Remember, we want to have this be like an active base. They're under attack, so there's going to be a lot of movement, there's going to be a lot of fiddling to try to get things ready to abandon the place. So that's why we are adding so many, I guess, kind of boring figures. So I do apologize about that, but there's only so many Han Solos, Princess Leia's, and Ghost Obi-Wans that you can add to a one MOC. So, you know, you're gonna have to get stuck with the boring stuff sometimes. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. If you wanna see behind the scenes content, feel free to subscribe to the member program. But other than that, have a good one, and we will see you in the next one.